Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Sisters and brothers, we're at a very critical time, and it's very important that we understand the times and what must be done. We heard that refrain from Mr. Minstrel Farrakhan a couple of years ago, the times and what must be done. He didn't mention anything about this. He was telling us he spent a whole year talking about nothing. He didn't tell us about this, did he? And that wasn't that long ago. He was telling the times and what must be done. Whole year, every week for a year. Go and review it. Nothing about this, not even a hint of it. See. Anyway, enough about that clown. Right now, we need to know exactly what's going on right now, because right now we see right in front of our face, we see a plague. And we have Abrahamic covenant sitting right there in both the Old and the so-called New Testament. 400-year servitude, then a plague that will kill the firstborn, that means the elderly, and pass over the children of the true seed of Abraham. Now, is that a coincidence? 1619 to 2019, that's 400 years. We've been enslaved over here. 2020 came in with a plague that's killing the firstborn and elderly. And the continent, Black Africa, is not being affected, virtually unaffected by its plagues, passing over them. The only continent. It's getting everybody else, but Black Africa is virtually unaffected, as it says. And, you know, we have the same bloodline, but we're being told that we're dropping like flies over here. But it's not, they're virtually unaffected over there, and they're supposed to be poorer, have less healthcare systems. They're not doing social distancing or wearing masks. But we're dropping like flies over here. So something's not adding up. See? And all of a sudden, they love us. They're worried about us. We need to be vaccinated. All of a sudden, reparations. We got to stop racism. All this stuff in the last year. Wasn't that before? We got to stop all this stuff we was doing to Black people. We got to get them all vaccinated. They didn't care about that when Black folks, and they still are dying, dropping like flies from AIDS and other things, and disease they was actually giving Black folks like syphilis. But all of a sudden, all this concern. And from the Democratic Party, Demon-CRATIC Party, the party that is talking about all the different policies that they instituted. They're talking about the party, they condemning the parties that they themselves instituted. 22 million Black babies aborted and counting. Started by a corporation or started by Margaret Sanger. Her stated purpose was to do it to eliminate Black babies and to use Black ministers, you understand, to convince them to abort their children. Sending jobs overseas, sending your industrial jobs to China, your intellectual jobs to India, and your agricultural jobs across the border. That's how China got strong. Now they complain about China. See, 3 strikes laws, prison reform. See, these are all policies I just mentioned that were either sponsored or supported by the main person, Mr. Biden. These were main policies championed and supported by him. Now he's the champion of defending us against those policies that he supported or was implemented or was initiated by him. Every one of them. And more. There's more. Long prison sentences, building all these prisons. Statements that he made even during his so-called, when they was campaigning, even his vice president called him out, said he was a racist. He said he didn't want, he supported known racists, supported them, and he tried to block, right, school integration, says he didn't want his children going to turn schools into a black jungle. These are Mr. All say, oh, I'm going to do all this stuff for black folk. And now all of a sudden, Democratic Party. And who's the Democratic Party? That was the racist party. That was the one that wanted, that fought for slavery. They wanted to go on perpetually forever. Not that the Republicans didn't want it either. But they're the ones that fought in the Civil War. They was the Rebs, the Confederates. They was the Ku Klux Klan and Jim Crow. That was Demon-CRATIC. See? They was the ones that opposed that was the main opposers of civil rights movement. So every time they got suffered a loss, they just renamed themselves. They just did a makeover and came at you a different way. They haven't stopped. So now they're your friends. See, that's what Johnson said. He said he's going to sign the civil rights bill and they're going to have these niggas, they're going to love them for 1,000 years. Something to that effect. Now they're your friends. But the policies, all their policies are still destructive to black people. Every one of them. And then the person that was trying to stop those policies and get rid of all those policies, Mr. Trump, is the one they named the racist. He probably is a racist. I don't care if he's a racist or not, but the point is, he was reversing all his policies, not because he loved black people, because they was affecting poor whites also. That's the only reason doing it. But it was reversing. So Democrats had to up their game. They said, hey, he's reversing everything, all these policies that we put in place. Because what does Scripture say? Scripture says, let's deal with them shrewdly. That means in a way they won't figure it out. They're going to be real slick about it, clandestine, that you won't see it coming. That's why it will come as a snare. That day will come as a snare. We deal with them shrewdly. And so now you're in love with the party that's every policy they have is destructive. Nothing makes any sense. In a democracy that you say you love, population is power. The majority rules. But they have you going to vote by way of Planned Parenthood, or you brought your child on the way to go vote. So how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? That numbers don't make any sense because you went and just killed a vote to make a vote. Because if those 22 children that we know about that's been aborted, and those mostly black people, they tell you it was mostly black children, and those Planned Parenthood are in black neighborhoods and not white neighborhoods. And so if those 22 children had not been aborted, blacks might be the majority in the country by now, because they would have had children too. See? They're long prison sentences, which means you're not making any babies while you're in prison. And you're in there so long by the time you come out, you can't make it anyway. Too old. See? Then birth control. See? Whose birth control? Not theirs, yours. See? And then unemployment. I can't afford to have a baby. I can't afford to have a baby. So I'm taking birth control or I'm going to take and abort it. Those are the policies. So we're going to try to understand what's going on here, because you got the person that was with all those policies. he even institute those policies or recommend them or support them and supported people that was known racist. Now he's in charge, but he's your friend. He's a champion of all that's good for you. But those policies still in effect. He's not reversing not one of them. Not one of them. But he's going to do all this stuff for you. But he's not reversing any of those policies. Not one of them. He's not going to reverse abortion. He's not going to reverse that. He's not going to reverse sending your jobs overseas. He's not going to reverse any of that stuff. But he's your friend. He's going to give you all this stuff. You see? And so what's going on? See? Scriptures tell you that Herod and Pharaoh both understood Scripture. They knew what time it was. Anybody that got any sense at all knows what time it is. 1619 to 2019. That's 40 years. 2020 we have plague. I talked about it before it came in. It's in. And 20 we have plague that killed the firstborn. You understand? That means elderly and Passover. The truth, Abraham and his verse. They didn't even talk about Passover Africa. They don't even talk about that. They keep it quiet on the low. Why are they keeping that on the down low? It's not affecting Black Africa, but it's killing you, dropping like flies. Why are they doing that? So we try to put things in perspective. See, and they read. They know the Scripture. They read just like unlike you. They follow it because, as far as Judaism concerned, that whole Exodus, that's the basic religion. So they know it by heart from coming out the womb. So they knew what time. When they saw 1619, 2019, when they saw 2020 come in, and the doctors and nurses in hospitals, and they saw whites coming in dropping like flies, especially elderly, they knew exactly what that meant. So they had to start doing something about it. So all of a sudden, it was Black folks. They wouldn't give you any numbers, just percentages. So if 10 people, Black folks, got in the country, and 9 died, only 10 people got it, 9 died. 90% of Black people, 90%. See, use a percentage. So, but they don't tell you it's only 9. It's just 90% of 10. They played that game until they got called out. They don't play that game anymore. So what's going on? So they know. So now they say, well, we got to find something. Okay, ask yourself a question. If you're in a country and you control the country, and all of a sudden you hit with a plague that's killing you, but not your people you're oppressing, it's not killing them. Well, you know, that's, hey, if it's killing you, then they're gonna, it might as well be from them, because it's killing you. That means they're gonna take over. If it's wipe you out. So whether they start the plague or not, you have to say, well, hey, I gotta get them. I gotta get them. Gotta make sure they stay down, because if they're not affected, they're immune. That means we're gonna be wiped out. They're gonna be in charge, or we're gonna be numbers be cut down. That's the same idea they have behind nuclear war. Or if America goes to war with Russia, this is their plan. If America goes to war with Russia, America would also attack China and India with nuclear weapons. Why would they attack them? They didn't attack them because they know that if they hit Russia, that's going to devastate both Russia and America, and they're both going to be knocked down. That means China and India will be the main world powers. They can't have that, so they got to knock them down too, even though they had nothing to do with it. So they see this plague coming, it's killing them, but we got to make sure it's not getting them, it's not getting these Black folks. We can't let that happen. So we got to do something to stop them. Otherwise, they're going to be more powerful than us. You understand the logic of it? So we got to understand, analyze this, understand what's going on here. Because a lot of things ain't adding up. If Black Africa, because why are they not talking about that? That should be all over the news. Man, Black Africa, man, they're not affected by this plague. It's affecting every continent, everybody. People in India are dropping like flies, Brazil and Europe and everything, but they should be able to study. They should be all over the news. That should be every on the news. Man, hey, but they ain't talking about it. They keep it real quiet. Why? But we drop like flies over here, especially Black people specifically, right? Even though it's not affecting Black folks over there. Black folks over here drop like flies. Okay. I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone personally. Any black person just died from it. I'm 72 years old. I don't wear masks. I don't do any of that stuff. Social distance. I don't do any of that stuff. I think I've been affected. A couple of times. It made me might make you a little sick, but it's not kill you. It's not killing us. See, so something ain't adding up. And then on top of that, now they got this vaccine that they pushing. Now they're talking about actually forcing you to take it. They pushing, but once you take the vaccine, right, it's supposed to. Now it's not affecting you. Once you take the vaccine, right, then you're not supposed to transmit the virus, and you're not supposed to get it. Right, it's supposed to protect you. But they still want you to wear a mask. How does that make any sense? I mean, okay, you can't transmit it, and you can't get it. So what's the point of wearing a mask? What's the point of social distancing? You're not affecting anybody. You might as well be a statue. I mean, why you putting a mask on a statue? What's that for? They can't get it. So why? And then you got this big distinction between two parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Well, I say, mystified. Why you still telling us to wear masks if this thing works? Because they haven't got the memo. Remember, this is the Democratic Party. Democratic Party is the ones telling you still got to wear masks and stuff. Even though you're not, you're supposed to be immune to it. You're not supposed to be able to transmit it or get it. So why anyway? And you see, because even the Republican Party says this don't add up, don't make sense. Something's not right here. And then what inconsistency? You know how long it take? First of all, once they got the virus hit, right? Then they have to take and figure out what it is, what effect it has, and how to deal with it. Before they can even start dealing with it, they got to analyze it. Now, the reason why I call it COVID, right? That's 19 is a good question, because it's the same virus, same family of viruses that cause the so-called common cold and flus. Now, they've never been able to conquer them. They gave up on the so-called common cold. They gave up on that one because it replicates so fast that once you get it, right, then if they give you something for it, it's replicated, it's mutated, so they can't keep up with it. So therefore, because every code you get is not the same one. In other words, you got code A this time you get code B, next code C. Same thing, but whatever they give you, it knock out A, but it's not gonna knock out B because it's mutating fast. They can't find things, just knock it all out because it keep mutating. See, so that moves to flu, right? Same thing, but not as fast as so-called common cold. So they get a shot every year because every year you still get this virus, but it's another version of it, so you need no shot. Okay, for the next one, because it keeps mutating, it doesn't mutate as fast as so-called common cold. But this one mutates faster than anything you've ever seen. That's why you see all these versions come up all over the planet. So if they couldn't get rid of so-called common cold and they couldn't get rid of flu, then how in the hell they tell you they're getting rid of this one? Because if they can get rid of this one, that means they can knock out the other two, be nothing. If they could get rid of this one, COVID-19, that means the other two are a piece of cake because they're much easier. Because this is much deadly. It's the same virus, same concept. If they got this one, they can knock out the other ones. But they're telling you they knocked this out. And the thing is, first they figured out. Now you know how it takes to figure something out, to figure how this thing works. Then once you figure how it works, then you got to try to figure out some kind of way to deal with it. Figuring how it works could take weeks, months, sometimes maybe even years, months, at least months, minimum. Months, 6, 7, 8, 9 months to figure it out. Then you figure, okay, then you got to come up with somebody to figure out how to deal with it. That could take months, take years. Then once you do that, right? See, then you got to test it. Right? That test could take months, maybe even years. Then once you test it, and it's okay, you figure it's okay, right? Then you got to go into production. You got to get approved. See, you got to get approved. Then you got to go into, so we'll say the approval. So right now we're talking about maybe a couple of years. A minimum. Then you got to go into production. See? Because you didn't know what you was dealing with to begin with. So now you're going to produce. Now you got to set up your machinery, all the factories to produce this particular thing, get all the resources and everything. That takes months in itself. That takes months by itself. Then the distribution. Now you got to distribute everywhere. But you got to know where to distribute. And people got to be ready to receive it. So you got to set up your distribution and the people that's going to receive it, how much they're going to receive. You got to figure all that out. That's months. That's months. Then once they get it, now you got to give it to the public. You got to vaccinate everybody. Which that takes months itself. In other words, the point I'm telling you is they don't do this in no 1 year. It's impossible. You call it war speed, you call it what the hell you want to call it. It's impossible. This was on the shelf already. Because even if it's on the shelf already, ready to go, you still got the problem of producing it. You still got a problem of distribution. You still got a problem of people, be ready to receive it and then get the people to take it. You still got all those problems. Even if it's on the shelf. Even if it's on the shelf, ready to go, it still take you months, years, at least a year, a minimum of a year, to get it to you. Even if it's already on the shelf. I mean, you always develop, all that stuff is already done. See? So something ain't adding up. Don't take my word for it. Do the analysis. Go and do some research and find how long it takes and all the process it takes to go from A to B, the logistics and everything, to A to B. From A to Z. And you see it's impossible to do this in a year. Impossible. Warp, you call it warp speed, whatever. It's on the shelf. Because they tell you, they got these viruses and things that do what? They've been working on this for years. Ethnic viruses, ethnic gas. Even Lion Farrakhan told you about ethnic gas. That means it will target certain people. China's been working on this themselves. China's been working on it. Many countries work on this. In other words, they put something out there that it only affects certain groups of people, certain types of people, certain ethnicities, see, certain DNA makeup. They've been working on this. So this was already on the shelf already. So we're going to talk about these few things. So we're going to try to add this up and see if it makes sense. So let's move on, brothers and sisters. Keep those things in mind. I hope you make a list because we're going to talk about those things. Now it'll take a long time. We're going to talk about them. This is the world Abrahamic covenant says coming in. This is the world they're going to try and stop because this world excludes them. They know they will have no part in this world. See, there's no trace of them in this world, no trace whatsoever. They do everything to stop it. See, they can't do it, but they're going to try. You can't blame for trying. See, because it's the only world that they can live in is an electromagnetic, mechanical world. Because they're already destroying this one. The Quran tells you everything they're doing, they're destroying it. It says it was made mischief and shed blood. It says the whole world is corrupt because of that, with the hands of wrought. It tells you that in the Bible and the Quran. It tells you also in the Bible that God was going to destroy those who are destroying the earth, the planet Earth. Who's destroying the planet Earth? It ain't us. So the industry and stuff they're doing is polluting the earth and everything. See? Because you're not supposed to even do it here. We do it off the planet. That's another story. So. And it's the struggle here. See? Because they want to bring in their mechanical world. Cyborg. See? Cyborg is a human brain, biological brain, and a mechanical body. So we're struggling out. Analytical mind against a spatial mind. See? Religion against mathematics, even though they are using mathematics now. But it's weak mathematics compared to us. Struggling out. Dr. Shabazz, Dr. Yaqub, those who are familiar with this know it's about. We're going to move on. I want to get to the main heart of this. Because right now, you understand exactly what's going on with us. What they're doing. Yeah, you got to start asking questions, bro. So you got to turn off NBA and NFL. You got to ask yourself some questions. Because you start asking questions, it's all over. Religion's over, or it's BSO. As long as you're not asking questions, as long as you're getting high and dull in your brain and all this BS and illusion, all that kind of stuff, as long as you're doing that, they got you. But when you start asking questions, that's when they want to put your ass in jail. So they want to shut you down. Because you ask questions, because none of this stuff adds up. As long as you accept it. But when you start asking questions, you start saying, wait, hold it. None of this stuff adds up. None of it. Because right now, if you're paying attention, they're telling you they're going to be war with China and Russia in a few days. Weeks, months at the most, they're telling you that. Yesterday, China just threatened America with war. If they don't get out of China Sea and leave them alone, stay out of where they have Taiwan. And Russia told them they better not come in the Black Sea because they sent some ships over there and they told Russia, if you send them over, we're going to fire on them. Then see, Iran said, man, we ain't going none of that crap you talking about. And Israel said, even if you have, go JCOP, we're going to attack you anyway. I've been talking about this for years. Go back and look. So what does that mean? Why would they be talking about nuclear war? Nuclear war, no one can win. It would devastate the planet, the surface of the earth. It would almost destroy all biological life. Because that's the world they want to bring in. Their mechanical world. Make all things new. That's their idea. See, robotics and everything. They're moving towards that. Look at it. They far ahead than you think they are. Because in that world, we don't exist anymore. And they're immune to all these plagues and stuff that they be hitting with. Because machines don't get sick. Machines don't get plagues. See? Machines don't get cancer. See? They just have to protect the brain. They're already making food out of chemistry. They're telling you, they're actually printing food with 3D printers out of chemistry, chemicals and stuff. They won't need this biological world. See? And they standing by to make sure, you understand, to destroy it. Because it's either the biological or the mechanical world. And the biological world is ours. Because they already destroyed. Either way, they have to get rid of the biological world. Because they destroyed it right now just by what they're doing. Look how they're corrupting the planet. See? Bam. Nuclear war. Let's get rid of all biological. But they can withstand, if they can develop that, how close they are, have they close enough, they wouldn't tell you. Anyway, we're going to move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, now what we're going to talk about here is the angel and Genesis. Very important. See, the angel, book of Revelation, the last book in the so-called Bible, and Genesis, the first book. But there's something going on there. When you understand Adam and Eve's story, they talk about the same story in Revelations. But there's a little difference. So one little difference to it. See? Now on the left here, that's the Adam and Eve story in Genesis. See? Now you see those eyes here? Those are the 7 eyes. That's the original nation. It's been corrupted now with demons. But anyway, that's the tree that's brought over to Eden. See? That's the tree that was transplanted. See? Adam and Eve was transplanted. Then you got the beast that was there. That's the sea that represents one Oriental nation. That's one of the beasts. The Asian nation, that's the cow, one of the beasts, right? So forth. So those of you who've been studying, you understand this. Those of you don't, well, I know you're going to get lost on a lot of this. So you need to start studying. So hold on a minute, change something here. Okay. So the story goes is, yeah, this tree was multiple trees. See, you think it's one tree. There's no tree that produced 2 fruits. So a tree of knowledge of good and evil, there was 2 trees, plus there was a tree of life. And there was other trees that Adam and Eve could eat, whatever they want to eat off of. So I show it here. So the tree of good and evil, the tree of good, right, that represents the nation of Islam. Oh, I know you Christian like that. Well, I'm just telling you, I didn't write it. You argue with the writer. The tree of evil is Christianity. That's the Christian blacks. They're the demons. They slave masters, children, house Negroes. See, from rape, 40 years of rape. See, but the Nation of Islam, they Levites, but they graft into the original nation. They suffer as we suffer here. So that's the tree of knowledge of good, tree of knowledge of evil. Islam is knowledge of good, Christianity is knowledge of evil. Okay. And then also they represent 7 eyes. So here's Adam and Eve here. Then you got the serpent, right? Now I have the serpent, I have it here, but you see Obama here, he's the one where Farad would be at. But we move in that point in time, we move, he would be the Lord of the serpent. But we moved forward in time. So I'm not going from the beginning. I'm starting at a certain point in time where we are right now. This is where we are right now in time, according to Angel. This is where we are right now in time, where you see sackcloth, that's it. That's the sackcloth represents the Shia, that's Michael's angels, right? Okay. They're moving up and they're putting pressure on America and false Israel and Britain, right? Because the JCLP was been canceled, and now they're moving up and they're pushing them, they're putting pressure on them, because that's what the case is right now. War is pending, war is imminent, because they're not going back to JCPOA. They told them if they don't go back, they're going to war, because now they're putting pressure and say we start reaching 60%. And then the false Israel is attacking them, their sites and all kinds of stuff. So that's what that means right now. So that's where we are in time, right? So Adam and Eve was they was considering, right, about eating, because they was told, do not eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Do not attack them, because when you consume something, it means you attack it, you take it out of existence. Eat the apple, you take it out of existence, consume it. So they contemplating, you know, because they told, if you do that, if you attack them, right, the day you do it, you will die. That corresponds to chapter 18, where it says that day, right, and one day all that disasters will come. So if you do that day, you will die. That's a 1 year period. If you attack them, they contemplating. But the serpent tells them, and that's what, see, you think about this Obama, you don't even have any idea who he's about. You're going to find out a few more days. But he wasn't for you at all. He hates you. He didn't do a damn thing for you. You got him in office for 8 years, and what did he do? Not one damn thing for you at all, nothing. Even those black folks that got out of prison, he wouldn't even do it for them. It took Trump to do it. He let those people out of prison that was in for a long. He went to the prison and says, man, this is wrong. They should be. But he didn't do a damn thing about it. He went to Flint and says, oh man, you know, people's children minds being corrupted with lead poisoning. He goes there under a lot of pressure because he didn't want to go. He said, oh, give me a bottle of this water. They give him a glass of this water, he stick his tongue, literally, go check it out. And then he literally just stuck his tongue out. Oh, this water's great, and got the hell out of town and left those people stranded back there. That's what he did for black folks, nothing. But you think he loved black folks? Tell me what he do. One thing. See? But, oh, we did the medical. Oh, really? He checked that out? Okay. Well, I'll give you that. I'm not going to argue with that one. I'll give you that one. But do you have it now? Anyway. So this is where we are right now. War is pending. So what it tells you is that they're contemplating to do this. So what it tell you happened that the serpent tells, oh, it's okay to do it. See, the serpent, that's Obama. He told me, oh, it's okay to do it. It's the Democratic Party, remember? Oh, no, it's okay to get rid of them. See, Africans don't want you. They're tired of you. They hate you. They call you cotton pickers, and they're ashamed of you. Because they see all these movies, they say you make them look like fools all over TV. Because you all over the news and everything, make them look like clowns and fools and everything else all over the world. And that people relate that back to them. You don't see them making movies like that. They want you gone. Because you're an embarrassment to them. Anyway, this is where we are right now. So they're contemplating what they should do. So certain tells okay to do it. So they decide to do it. So we're going to show. They decided to go. This is according to Genesis. They decided to go ahead and do it. We're almost there. We'll keep everything in sequence. Bam, they go in and do it. It says they win 8-8. See, so they win 8. They still not do it, but certain convinced them to do it. See, so they went and attacked. It means they attacked. They went and attacked the blacks in America. And Britain too, they attacked them. Consuming, they attacked them. This is what it says in Genesis. But when they attacked them, 8, then it said their eyes became open. See, they didn't have eyes before. So that backs up. Now they got eyes because they don't ate them. See, now they got eyes. That's what it said. Now their eyes became open. Now they have eyes because now they're overlaying, right? They attacked them. Now they have eyes. So they have eyes, and that's what it means. Now they have eyes. And once they saw their eyes, they said, well, we're naked. We're naked. So they covered themselves. See, sackcloth, that's what they covered themselves with. See, now on the right side, nothing happens. See? So now they cover themselves. See, now they're covered. The necklace is covered. That's what it's saying. On the right side here, right, that's at the point they go to war. See, they already went to war over here. No, they haven't went to war. See, what happened is when they cover themselves, that means they went to war. That means now Yeshua has just kicked them out of the Middle East. They moved up. So in other words, first they attack us, and then they end up in war with the Middle East and in China and in Russia at the same time. But they attack us first. They attack us first. And that's the way it says in Genesis. But what does it say in the angel? In the angel, it says something different. It says in the angel, you see on the right here, that they went to war in the Middle East first. And kicked them out of the Middle East first. That was the angel. So you got two different situations. But the angel tells you in the 6th seal, it says that they went to war, right? There was a great wind, right? That blew the fig leaves off before they was ready. They was unripe. That means they went to war before Adam and Eve was ready. Because false Israel represents the fig tree. American Adam and Eve represents the fig leaves. See, so they fell before they was ready. Before they was ready. See, here, they was planning to do this, but they was preempted, because on the right it says, no, the war started before they was ready to do what they was planning to do over here on the left. You understand? Before they was planning to attack us, to get rid of us, but something happened, they was preempted, and the war started, and they was kicked out before they was ready because the figs was not ripe yet. Before their plan was able to go into action. That means right now, they got this plan to get rid of us that they enacting right now. They're in the process of doing it. But before they can complete the plan, right, angel says no. They go to war over the Middle East first. And that's what the war is. So we know that the war in the Middle East is imminent. That means they have a plan in action right now. They actually plan right now to get rid of us. They have it in motion. But before they can complete that plan, right, to execute it, bam, the war happens. You understand? The war is about to happen. But their plan was they get rid of us and then go to war. Because they plan this war. They're pushing for it. But their plan was to get rid of us first and then do that. Because if they go to war, they may make sure they don't have any conflict in America. Because if the black folks in America works against them, they can't have destabilization in America and then go to war. That's what they did with Japan. When they knew it was going to war with Japan, they rounded up all the Japanese and put them in concentration camps. Because they could have going to war with Japan, take a chance that the Japanese might go on the side of the Japanese and then destabilize America. And destabilize America within. And that's the same thing. They want to get rid of us because they already said that if they go to war, read what it says. They said they was afraid that if a war broke out, That was their fear. If a war broke out, that we would side with the enemy and attack them and then leave the country. Let's read it again. If a war broke out, that we would side with their enemies and wage war against them internally and then leave the country. That was their fear. So if that's their fear, that means they're going to do something. If you're afraid of something, you're going to do something about it. If you can. So they know they're going to war. And they see right now all this stuff, Black Lives Matter, all this stuff going on right now. And how the blacks are all excited and angry and all that kind of stuff going on. They want to make sure and you know, that they take care of us out before they go to war. Because they know they're getting ready to go to war. They know they're going to go to war. And they can't afford that we might destabilize the country inside internally while they're at war externally. You better understand, brothers and sisters, that's what Angel's telling us. So how does that make sense? Okay. Let's put two and two together. Okay, what's going on? They're telling, get vaccinated. Everybody, especially black people, we really need it. But you still need to wear masks and stuff. So if you still need to make masks and stuff, and you can't transmit it, and you can't receive it, then why do you need to wear a mask? You want me to cut the chase, brothers and sisters? Because the virus, the vaccine is not for the virus. It's not protecting them from the virus. It's wearing the mask that's protecting them. That's why I tell you keep wearing it. Otherwise, it makes no sense. That virus is for another reason. You even got Republican, other people saying this. Something else. There's something else behind this virus. There's something else because it makes no sense. Why do you still wear a mask if you're inoculated and you can't transmit, you can't receive? So why you're not affecting anybody? So why are you still masking? Because the virus, this mask, the vaccine has nothing to do with the virus. Nothing. What's protecting them is the mask and social distancing. The virus is for another reason. See? Otherwise, it makes no sense. See? But the Republicans haven't got the memo. That's why he called them Neanderthals and everything. No, y'all can't do this. He's trying to stop. He's doing everything trying to stop the Republican governors from opening everything. They said, well, if the vaccine works, then why are we having masks? Which makes sense. So open everything up. They tell me you shouldn't do that because, and you got the CDC director saying she's worried. There's going to be a big outbreak, even with the virus and everything, even with the vaccine. Tell everybody, no, you need to take it, right? You need to keep wearing masks and stuff. You need to social distancing. People say, why do you keep saying that? And why is Biden wearing masks when nobody's around and stuff? Because that's what's protecting you from the virus, if any protects at all. It's not the vaccine. Vaccine's for another purpose altogether. Altogether. And they're pushing it hard amongst blacks. And then when a famous black die untimely because whatever's in there, right? These are dying quickly or before time, whatever, where they cover it up. And even when they come out, like DMX, right? The parents said, no, that was because of the vaccine. What's the name? The baseball, Hank Aaron, right? And then Marvin Hagler, him and her said, no, they had something. He took the vaccine. And it's not a vaccine. See? So I know they're probably going to shut this down. It's not a vaccine. A vaccine is they take the virus and they take and put it in a sterile form so it doesn't hurt you, and they put it into your body so your antibodies can recognize that form. So when you get the real thing, it knows already prepared to knock it out. That's what a vaccine is. This is not a vaccine. It's some kind of thing they call it's programmable. Programs your RNA or whatever. Programs your RNA. Programs your RNA. What does that mean? It's programmable? What do you mean programmable? Programmed to do what? When? I'm not telling anybody to take or don't take it. Your business. I'm just adding up and see if it makes sense here. Because Well, everything don't make any sense. If you got the vaccine, you should be able to do everything you want to do. Shouldn't affect anybody, but no, they still wearing it. So you think about it, brothers and sisters. See if all this makes sense. See, those of you not paying attention to Angel, okay, you're gonna miss all this because it got two different things. Because it says that was supposed to happen. On the left was their plan, but on the right, their plan got interrupted. So they made a plan, Allah makes a plan, Allah's best plan. So that's the plan on the left, but Angel says that plan was interrupted because it says the wind blew and before it was ready, before they could institute that plan, this happened. Before they can get rid of us. So that's where we are right now. So in other words, there's something going on right now. And the whole idea, if it ain't this, it had nothing to do with this virus, it had nothing to do with this. There's something going on right now. That's what it's telling. Something going on right now to eliminate us. And it's by people who are pretending to be our friend because it says deal with them shrewdly. That means, hey, you got to make, they can't see it coming. So that means you got to be friendly. You got to be nice. And who's more nicer now than Mr. Biden and the Democratic Party? They love black folks. They love black folks like you've never seen before. You never seen anything like this before. And you never seen like this before this plague came in. All of a sudden, they're in love. Critical race theory. Love of black people. They got to do all this stuff. Black people, they got to heal everything. Why? All of a sudden. So that plague, they knew exactly what it means because they know they're in judgment. And it's time for us to go home. See? And they want to do everything to prevent that. And they got their man Farrakhan up there, right? See? He's their man. See? They're going to out him in a minute. He's their man. See? But he's telling you, we ain't going home, we ain't going nowhere. See? Oh, yeah, he said, don't take the vaccine. Yeah, he's saying that. I guarantee they're taking it. See, because he got to look credible. See? Got to look credible. He's wearing the mask too, ain't he? And so he should, based on the prophecy, he should be wearing the mask because he knows it's not affecting us. He's a demon. He knows it's going to kill him because he's a demon. He's master's children. His father's a devil. So it's going to get him. So that's why he's wearing the mask, because he knows he's not going to pass over him. Not going to pass over his demons. And then he wanted to distort the whole thing. No, we didn't come out in 1619. Slavery started in 1555. No, we came in 1555, but it took 64 years to pass for slavery. That's what Elijah Muhammad said. Understand? That's very clear. But he's going to switch it. No, slavery started in 1555. Because he wanted to distort the whole truth. Because he don't want you to see exactly what's going on. Because that's what he's paid to do. Until it's too late. It says it will come as a snare. Snare means you don't see it coming. And when they snare you, they snare for one or two reasons. To kill you or to eat you. Which, both ways, you end up dying. That's why you snare an animal. You don't snare him, right? Because you just want to play with him. You lay a snare. And it says it's come as a snare. And we're right in it right now, brothers and sisters. You have no idea. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Hope I can illuminate. Because you have no idea. But none of this stuff adds up. But if you look at it from this point of view, it all adds up. None makes sense. Once you take a vaccine, that should be it. You should be able. But no, they want you to do it anyway. They want you to wear masks and stuff anyway. Why? The Republicans are asking that same question. They haven't got the memo. And the Democrats pissed off at them because Trump messed up their game plan. He reversed their game plan, knocked them back 4 years. So you see wars on the horizon. Means anybody can see they're going to be at war in a few more days. America's not backing down. China's not backing down. Russia's not backing down. They're not threatening sanctions anyway. They're threatening war. China already told America, we will fire on you if you come over here in the China Sea. If you don't get the hell out of China Sea, we're going to fire on you. If you interfere with us in Taiwan, we will fire on you. Russia says, if you come to the Black Sea, we will fire on you. Stay the hell out of here. Then you got old senile man. He's in modern day time, he's the most racist one ever in that office. All of them are racist, but like all these policies they got, he's supported, initiated all of them, every one of them. Now he's like, oh man, we love black people now. They come as a snare. Let's deal shrewdly with them in a way they won't see it coming. And there's the four winds. See? That was their plan, four winds over here. Right? And they was just, that's when Babylon got cast down. This where it should have been on the left. This where actually will be on the right. They get kicked out. Now they're at war. After they got kicked out, now they're at war. And that's when they attack us. They attack us after the war. And then when they attack then, that's when Suleiman calls down the four winds on their ass. See? Now they attack us. After the war. On the right. On the left, they was attack us before the war to get rid of us before they go to war. But they was preempted and the war took place before they had a chance to do it. So now they attack us, and that's when Suleiman steps in, Farad steps in, and hits them with the four winds. See? Now retaliating. But America's at war now. And they've been at war eternally and eternally. See? You see the difference? Now they're the same, but in this one case, they took us out before they had the war. In the other case, they tried to take us out after they had the war, but they came with the four winds from Farad. Slow them down. See? I'm not showing that's the resurrection. See? And that's the resurrection. That's when the next place resurrection take place where they moved up. Remember, the red also represents the sea. The sea opened up, and they moved on dry land. I'm not going to all that. I want you to focus on just this. In one scenario, they wiped us out before they went to war. That's right now. That's what they plan on doing right now. They plan on going to war, but right now, that means if war is imminent, that means whatever they're doing right now, they're about to pull the trigger. They've already set it up. It's like, you're going out there and you spread oil all over the place, and then you got to light a match. Burn. You always spread the oil. All you got to do is light the match. So this thing is programmable. Programmable to what? I mean, what kicks off the program? Right? What was it called? This 5G. What kicks it off? See, because it's something going there, right? That is programmable. It's not a vaccine. So what kicks it off? What makes it do this thing? Is a time lapse? It takes a year for it to kick in. Right? Does it sterilize? What does it do? Whatever it is, if it's not this, something that they got going right now, it's telling you right now they got, if it ain't this, but it seems like it is this because they're telling you that the virus is not the thing. This vaccine is not what's saving you, because why are you still wearing the mask? They're telling you still wear it. All the Democrats still saying wear it. The Republicans, they didn't get the memo. They're the only ones telling you, why, and they ask the question, why we still got to wear a mask if this thing works? And they fighting each other. So something will add up. So that makes you think it must be this. It must be something with this. Because they're telling you need it. And if you, Black Africa, it's not, we don't need it. We got the same genes they got. It's not affecting. That means we don't, but they tell us we do need it. We got to have it. And right now, if you listen to this fool's speech last night, he's telling you, right, on this so-called State of the Nation, that they're about to force you to take it for your own good. So what's up with that? What's up with it? Did I get to your, did I get past, you understand, the NBA, NFL? Did I get past that? Did I get past that? Did I get past them blunts? Did I get past that? Did I get past that Christianity? Did I get past that? To reach your brain? Something ain't add up. Can you do basic math? So you do some addition subtraction, see what you come up with. Something don't add up. Because if you take the vaccine, hey, and you can't transmit it and you can't receive it, then why you still need to wear a mask? And why do we have to take it when our brothers and sisters over in Africa, same DNA, not getting it, but we getting it, little dropping like flies. But they're not telling you about that because that should be world news. You know, if false Israel was not affected by this, you not be world. They'd be on every news station. They'd have people over interviewing them. Talking about, man, y'all not getting it. Why? Oh, yeah, because we Abraham. See, but they ain't brought one African over and asked them anything. Don't even tell you about it. Don't even talk about it at all. They actually reveal that they don't even talk. I mean, you got to go actually do research to find out. Because it's not even something they talk about. It's not it make you think it's affecting the whole world. It's not affecting Black Africa versus unaffected even right now. They say, oh, they tell South Africa. Well, South Africa is mostly Caucasians there. That's the ones getting it. But Black Africa, it's not. It's very unaffected by it. But you dropping like flies. Something's not adding up, brothers and sisters. So you do the math. Do you add, addition, subtraction, little multiplication. See what you come with. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. We're talking about the now. I'm gonna leave you with that. But the now, this is happening. Whatever's happening, they're doing. It's happening right now. If you see it, the war is about to happen. About to go to war. So what they're doing is happening right now. See, and it can't be so obvious that if they gave you something, you fall out right away because then nobody else will take it. So it's got to be something that's a time effect, right? That it won't take effect because almost everybody's got it. See what I'm saying? Because you walk down the street and you want to shoot all the people in the house, right? Well, you're going to shoot the first person, everybody will see it, they run. So you got to get everybody in the house together, right? And everybody comfortable and everything else in one room and everything, and then you start the shooting. See? So is that, you mean you got to get everybody vaccinated first? And then whatever it is that triggers it, or is a time element involved? Who knows? See? Think about it, brothers and sisters. It's happening right now. Whatever it is happening right now. So it may not be that. Maybe something else. Whatever it is, you figure it out. See? The storm. The pause before a storm. I talk about that. The storm supposedly took place in November. So it'd be a pause for about 7 months. Between 5 and 7 months. That pause is about over. So whatever's happens, it's happening right now, and the war is about to take place. War broke out in heaven. Michael's angels fought against the dragon's angels. You don't know who the dragon is because you listen to Farrakhan. You don't know who Michael is. Michael's got to be fraud. He's delivering us. Keep listening to him, because most of your demons anyway. So he's just a lightning rod. He's pulling you to him so we can get you really all at one time. But you got some of you caught up in there. That's why I said fraud. I had to take the big hit because of a lot of you, because I didn't want to be bothered. But fraud put me on the island, had me locked down for 3 years because I wouldn't want to talk to you. Because he said he wouldn't get rid of you. He's supposed to say he's going to get rid of you in 40 years after Elijah left, which would have been 2015. I knew he wasn't going to do it. Read about Jonah. But he said, I'd go and tell people anyway. And then he didn't do it. And he said he's not going to do it because there's still some people in NOI doing left hand from the right hand. Because the NOI is his baby. He started it. And Elijah Muhammad nursed it. See? So he don't want to get rid of it. That's his baby. That's his, So he says there's still some people that are on the left hand from the right hand. That means that some people can't distinguish Elijah Muhammad's teachers from Farrakhan's teachings. Because Farrakhan claims he's teaching Elijah Muhammad's teaching, but he's not. That's what it means. There's somebody that can't tell the left hand from the right hand. And that's why he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't pull the trigger. 2015. But that time is gone. That ship has sailed. So we'll see what happens, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. 2021, they about to make their move. Says, one day, the day you do it, the day you will die. Said, one day came their plagues and everything in chapter 18 in 1 year. This is the year. Their judgment started in 2020. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.